Gollup the Woods began from my belief that if you go looking for magic, you're going to find it. It's the story of broken-hearted twins who go looking for hope, but instead find magic and ultimately find the souls of their parents in themselves. So the thing I like about storytelling, especially while I'm writing, is I get to just let my imagination go uncontrolled onto paper. And then at the end of it, I read some of this stuff and I laugh to myself, my gosh, I can't believe I just wrote that. But other times I'll sit back and say, man, that really fits. That fits nicely. But most of the time I end up hitting delete and just smile all over again and start writing. So at Christmas, my mom, who's almost 80, asked me if I would take her back to Ireland one last time. And I got to tell you, I got so excited because here, most of these stories came from stories I was told while driving with her and my father in the car on trips to our cottage in Wexford. And I had this opportunity to ride with her again through the streets of Ireland, through Glendalough, and listen to how she sees the world compared to how I remember it. It was just a great experience, and it helped me a lot with writing this book because standing in thousand-year-old ruins of churches in Glendalough and just envisioning what it must have been like for them back then really helped me with actually the beginning of the second book in the Gollup the Woods series. And there's a little sample of it at the end of this book that I think you'll enjoy. Yeah, the challenge of writing Gollup the Woods is it's from characters from my father's stories when we were kids. So the last thing I wanted to become was an author that is sort of a tour guide, walking you through this story. Instead, I wanted it to be really natural because they're my father's characters. And I knew if I got it wrong, I would be, marring his memory in some way, and I didn't want that to happen. So I rewrote the story over and over and over again. In fact, at one point it hit 370,000 words. Thank God for my editors, because without them it wouldn't be the tight book that it is today. I really love Josie. She is a special character for me because she's such a strong female character in the book, and she reminds me a lot of Sigourney Weaver in Aliens, survival no matter what. And her character came from a really kind of sad part of my life. I was at a funeral of this young couple that got killed in a motorcycle accident, and I'm in the back of the church, and here's the grandparents holding the hands of these little 2-year-old twins walking down the aisle, and they're bawling and they don't know why they're there. And it just thought to myself, what would it be like without parents? What would it feel like? And what would it be like as twins without parents? And that's where she came from. And it's how it starts off a little sad, but then she gets so strong in the story that it turns into really an interesting character model. And I can't wait to write about her again. I've always loved writing. I really have. But when I was a child, I was diagnosed with dyslexia, which is a debilitating disorder that makes you jumble up words in your mind so it's hard to read. And I was actually considered slow at first until this teacher came along and figured out what was wrong and got me into this really progressive class for the time that helped me read faster and faster. And I actually became really, really good at reading. So the natural thing for me to do next was writing. So I started writing on everything. I wrote in journals, I wrote on the back of napkins, I wrote on the back of the bathroom door of my parents' house, got in a lot of trouble for that. But I just loved writing. And I'm not sure, quite frankly, how many thousands of words I've written in my life, but it's probably a pretty sad number when you think about all the other things I could have been doing at the time.